Ever feel like you're clinging to a climbing wall, but like instead of handholds, it's a bad job?
Oh, I know that feeling.
Or going nowhere relationship,
Yeah.
or even that hobby you've lost your passion for.
Yep.
Knowing when to let go is tough.
For sure.
Today, we're diving into why it's so hard, and more importantly, how to make walking away your winning move.
Right.
You've sent in a stack of sources on this, articles, blog posts, even some decision science.
It's interesting. You know, what's fascinating here is this sheer variety of ways people struggle with this.
Yeah.
We've got relationship advice, career guidance,
Hmm.
even philosophical takes on letting go.
Yeah,
It's clearly a universal challenge.
totally. And we're tackling that one loaded word nobody likes.
Oh, yeah.
Quitting. Like, is it always bad? Our first source, Mom Junction, jumps right into the thick of it with 19 signs. It's time to walk away from a relationship.
Oh,
19. Felt a tad exhaustive, but hey, we're thorough here.
right. Though even with that many signs, it boils down to a few core needs.
Okay.
Take the classic feeling taken for granted.
Yeah.
Not just about forgotten birthdays, though those sting.
Oh, they do?
It's deeper, right? Like our basic human need to feel valued,
Mm-hmm.
to have our contributions matter.
Makes you wonder if you're the one doing the taking for granted, are you even getting the best version of that person anymore?
Oh, interesting.
If their needs aren't met, resentment builds not exactly the recipe for a thriving relationship.
Exactly. Several signs from that article, like one-sided compromises or constant communication breakdowns, they all hint at this erosion of respect and reciprocity.
Mm-hmm.
It's like ignoring cracks in a bridge.
Yeah.
Eventually, the whole thing collapses.
Oof, yeah.
Yeah.
Makes that whole walking away before it's too late thing hit a bit different.
Right.
But relationships aside, you included a piece specifically about academia,
Yes.
Hillary Hutchinson's blog now, that resonated because the pressure in that world is intense.
It is. And you know what stood out to me was how Hutchinson connected that pressure to the psychology of letting go.
Okay.
Academics are often high achievers,
Uh,
wired to push through challenges.
right.
But that same drive can make them cling to projects, committees,
Oh, yeah.
even entire career paths long after they've stopped being fulfilling.
And her point about good enough being a revolutionary act in academia, mind blown.
Like,
We're conditioned to strive for excellence.
which is great.
Of course.
Still, it's
Yeah.
sometimes done better than perfect,
yeah.
especially if it means protecting your well-being.
Absolutely. That's a concept that applies way beyond academia, though.
Oh, for sure.
How many of us stay stuck because we're chasing some idealized version of success
Oh, yeah.
instead of recognizing the value in what we've already accomplished?
Okay, big question time.
Okay.
We've seen some red flags, but why is letting go so hard emotionally, even when we know it's the right move? Like, our brains get stuck.
It's not just you, it's science.
Okay.
Several sources dig into this. Hey Sigmund, Monday, 8 a.m., and Dr. Nerdlove all touch on the psychological barriers at play. Fear of failure, for one. Our brains hate feeling bad,
Right.
and failure often gets painted with that brush.
And then there's that sneaky saboteur, the sunk cost fallacy, right? We've all been there, staying in a movie you hate.
Oh, the worst.
Because, hey, you paid for it.
Yeah,
Same logic infects bigger decisions,
right.
making us cling to things just because we've invested time, energy, or heart.
It's a powerful trap, that sunk cost fallacy. And it often teams up with another mental hurdle,
Okay.
what Dr. Nerdlove calls magical thinking.
Okay.
We tell ourselves, what if things magically get better?
Oh, yeah.
What if I just try one more time?
Right.
It's like hoping that lottery ticket will pay off, even though you rationally know the odds.
Yeah. It's like our brains are wired for self-sabotage sometimes.
Yeah.
I know I've been guilty of that one more time thinking, especially in relationships.
Like maybe this fight will be the one that magically fixes everything.
Right.
Spoiler alert, it rarely is.
Rarely is.
No, and it's not just our own minds working against us.
Right.
Society throws in its 2 cents, too.
Oh, for sure.
Think about the messages we're bombarded with. Quitters never win. Never give up on your dreams. There's this glorification of perseverance.
Right.
Even when it's to our detriment.
Exactly.
Totally. It's like we're just supposed to power through
Yeah.
no matter the cost.
Right.
But what about the cost to our well-being, our sanity, our overall happiness? Sometimes letting go is the braver act.
Precisely. And that's where Dr. Nerdlove's idea of psychic self-defense really clicks.
Okay.
He's talking about protecting your mental and emotional well-being
Yeah.
by refusing to be trapped in situations that drain you.
Okay, love that reframing. It's not about giving up, it's about standing up for yourself,
Yep.
for what you deserve.
Exactly.
Kind of like what Jesse Lehman talks about in their Elephant Journal piece.
Yes.
Walking towards yourself.
Exactly. Letting go isn't just about what you're walking away from,
Right.
but what you're walking towards.
Yes.
It's about creating space for something better, something more aligned with who you are now.
Right.
Not who you were when you first started clinging to that wall.
So how do we go from feeling stuck to making those empowered choices? It's not like we can just quit everything at the first sign of trouble, right? Got to be some strategy involved.
You're right. It's not about ditching responsibility.
Right.
It's about being intentional.
Okay.
The Monday 8 a.m. piece dives into this strategic quitting idea, and they pull from some fascinating sources,
Yeah.
like decision scientist Annie Duke.
Okay. Poker pro turned decision expert.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued. What's her take?
So Duke applies poker strategy to life decisions.
Okay.
She talks about calculating the expected value of our choices,
Okay.
basically weighing the potential benefits of staying against the potential benefits of leaving.
Okay.
It's about looking at things objectively,
Right.
not just emotionally.
That makes a ton of sense. I feel like we often let our emotions cloud our judgment,
Sure.
especially in situations where we're feeling stuck or unhappy.
Yeah.
We get so caught up in the what ifs that we forget to look at the bigger picture.
Absolutely. And that's where Duke's poker background comes in handy.
Right.
In poker, as in life, you can't control the cards you're dealt, but you can control how you play them.
Okay.
You have to be willing to fold, even if you've already invested some chips,
Right.
if the odds of winning are slim.
So it's about cutting your losses,
Yes.
recognizing when it's time to walk away from a losing hand,
Right.
even if it stings a little. I like that analogy.
Yeah.
But how do we actually do that? Where do we start?
Monday, 8 a.m. breaks it down into some practical steps.
Okay.
First, you've got to be honest with yourself about the situation.
Okay.
What are the potential benefits of staying? What are the potential benefits of leaving? Don't sugarcoat it. Be realistic.
Okay, so brutal honesty with ourselves is step one. What comes next? So we've sized up the situation with clear eyes. Now what? Do we just make a pro-con list and throw darts at it?
A dartboard approach might be fun, but probably not the most strategic, no. Monday, 8 a.m. emphasizes the importance of considering the risks involved in both staying and leaving. What are the potential downsides, both in the short term and long term?
Okay, so thinking through the what ifs, but from a more grounded place. Like, if I leave this job, will it torpedo my career goals? If I stay in this town, will I always wonder what if I moved? That kind of thing.
Exactly. It's about acknowledging those fears and doubts, not brushing them under the rug. But here's the crucial part. Don't let fear paralyze you. Instead, use it as information to create a more informed plan.
Right, because simply knowing the risks isn't enough. We need a plan of action. So what does that look like in the context of strategic quitting?
Think of it as mapping out your escape route. Even if it's just a general direction at first, what do you want to move towards? What skills do you need to develop? Who can support you through the transition?
Ooh, I love that you brought up support. It's easy to isolate ourselves when we're grappling with these big decisions, but having a cheer squad, whether it's friends, family, or a therapist, can make all the difference.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Letting go can be an emotional roller coaster, even when you know it's the right move. Having a support system to celebrate your wins and help you through the rough patches is invaluable.
So we've weighed our options, considered the risks, and hopefully built ourselves a solid support network. What's the final piece of the puzzle? How do we actually rip off the Band-Aid and make a clean break?
That's where the quitting well concept comes in. Whether it's a relationship, a job, or even just a commitment, it's about ending things with grace and integrity.
Okay, so no dramatic walkouts or ghosting involved. Darn.
Probably for the best. It's about clear, honest communication. Explain your decision respectfully without blaming or dwelling on negativity.
So owning our choices, even if it's tough. And is there room for gratitude in that conversation? Because even in situations we're walking away from, there were probably good times or lessons learned.
Absolutely. Expressing gratitude, whether it's for the experience, the lessons, or the people, can go a long way in leaving things on a positive note.
This has been eye-opening. Who knew there was so much strategy involved in quitting? It's not just about running away from something, it's about consciously choosing yourself and creating space for something better. That's the heart of it. It's about recognizing your own power to shape your life, even when it feels scary or uncertain.
And on that note, I think Dr. Nerdlove's closing question is the perfect place to leave our listeners. When has stubbornly holding on actually QS'd you more than letting go? What could you create, experience, or become if you had the courage to walk away? Something to ponder. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, remember, sometimes letting go is the most powerful move you can make.